I'm a Kurdish textile fiber artist, working mostly with embroidered portraits. A lot of my work is influenced by my family's story of being refugees and transitioning into immigrants and the experience of living and growing up in diaspora in America. When I heard about the We Count project, I instantly thought about my parents' experience of becoming and gaining their voter rights as being naturalized. And when I thought back to it, I thought about that time in my life. I remember they were so nervous and were so terrified of the process and how important it meant to them to become a citizen versus back home in Kurdistan, where Kurds have been oppressed from being identified within their society. It meant more. It meant becoming human, becoming an equal within their community. So thinking about this project, I instantly thought about people in our community today in Nashville that are experiencing the same thing, that are in the middle of gaining their voter rights. And so my friend Janusha Kolshi, she had just applied to become a citizen, and mostly to gain voter rights, but also to have other rights, as in to apply for education and get some funding, to be able to travel and not have to worry, to not feel like she was illegal even though she had the right documentation. These are just like daily anxieties that came with not being a citizen. And so for her, she recognized all this as an adult, and living 20 years in America, she decided to start the process. And so I thought Janusha would be a great story to follow through with, and most definitely influenced this project for me. A little bit about her background. She and her family immigrated to America in 1999 from Kosovo during the Civil War. So she's fluent in English, very American passing, and when she described the process, she was even talking about how intimidating it was, how it almost was discouraging walking into the courthouse feeling like you're not a normal citizen. And that just brought back memories of my parents having to retake the test because they absolutely failed a couple times. There's questions, part of the citizenship test, that I would say most average Americans probably don't know about, whether it's about our democracy or about the Constitution. So it's most definitely a nerve-wracking process, especially thinking about people in our community that barely speak English and that want to obtain a citizenship. I've followed Janusha's process with becoming a citizen, and of course she passed and was super excited. What moved me the most was during the speech that the judge kind of like swore them in. At the end of his speech, the thing he left off with was, "We are now equals." And when you think about that, these people within our community, she had been living here for 20 years, to not feel that you're equal of your peers, to provide and give so much to your community, and finally to feel equal, the weight of that, the weight of having a citizenship, to being identified, to feeling more human within your community was so important. And that's absolutely how my parents felt. They finally became a citizen of a nation, to have this freedom, to be given rights, voter rights, traveling rights. Janusha's story influenced this large portrait I did of her, and I wanted to be larger than life because these stories aren't heard, and these rights are so important that so many of us take for granted, that so many of us don't even go out and vote and see that we could be the voice for the voiceless. And our voices also matter, so we should take this into consideration and think about the seriousness in all of it. And within all this, I also thought about the importance of IDs and how IDs are and how they classify us in some weird way and like identify us. And though these are just little facts about the way you look, I wanted to bring something more to Janusha's portrait So I asked her to write a poem about her experience, and that will be part of the piece, to share her story, to share what it really is to be heard, to hear her voice and hear her story, so that we all become familiar with who our community really is, who we really are here. And I hope that everyone within our community, anyone viewing this exhibition, sees the importance of our rights, sees that your rights are someone else's treasure, someone else's safety, it's someone else's security and protection, of not feeling illegal, of not feeling like an alien. These rights make a person feel more human and a part of our community.